I'm Ashley, and this is Cape Classic Cars, and we're back, bigger and better than ever. Okay, so since we last spoke, a lot of things have happened. We've moved, we've got a bigger shop. Our last shop could hold about 30 odd cars. We're now on about 40 to 50 cars in the shop. A lot more equipment, doubled up in our staff, and big things happen. So one of the biggest things that we've added has been our paint and body shop. So now we can do everything in-house and keep a much better finger on quality, and obviously do some custom work the way that we want it done. And the other big aspect of our business, as always, has been our restorations and our custom builds. So we do a lot of metal fabrication, a lot of custom fabrication repair as well. So one of the things that we like to do here is to do repairs properly, and that entails a lot of metal work. So now we have a dedicated metal section to doing all of the rust repair, the panel repair, and basically any custom work that we need to do the right way. We're doing a lot of engine rebuilds, as we'll take you through a bit later. We've got an engine testing jig there. It's a nice way for us to demonstrate a built-up motor for a customer. And obviously just our usual builds. Get them in, maintain them, and keep them in good running order, and have happy customers out the door. Okay, so this is our test rig. We're going to call her Gertrude. And basically what this is going to be a test rig for all of our engine builds. This allows us to test the motors, build the motors, and run them in outside of the vehicle. So there's a lot less in and out of the car, possible damage to cars, scratching paint, all that sort of thing. Plus, it's just a cool factor for the customers. They can actually come and experience a startup outside of the car. Might make them a little deaf, but it's awesome. It's a real cool experience. And what it does is it also allows us to iron out any snags before it goes in. So if we figure out there's a little oil leak, or if there's something that needs a bit of fine tuning, we can do that all out of the car. So we obviously do a lot of different types of builds here, not just American stuff. We do a lot of unique and different cars. So one of the things we've been doing a lot of lately is these little Pumas. We will take you through, walk through a bit later. And we're doing full body off on the car. So separating body from chassis, being able to simultaneously do two parts of the job at the same time. Body goes off to our body shop, gets done, gets repaired the right way. The chassis and the engine get done separately from that, which means we can do two things at once. When both parts are done and we're happy with it, mated together, again, less on and off, less in and out, and it means a good end result. This is a car we're busy with at the moment. It's a Puma VW-based kit car. And this is an example of what we would call a body off restoration. What we're doing here is we're splitting it completely, body from the chassis, so that the body can go off to our paint shop and body shop and have the body work done while the chassis is having the chassis work and the mechanicals done. So that two things can happen simultaneously on the build, shortening the build time drastically. Fun fact, the Pumas are actually quite interesting little cars. These are originally Brazilian-based kit car, sports cars, but they were reproduced in South Africa as well. This particular one was built in Durban, funny enough, and they are incredibly popular, especially overseas. Behind me over here, we've got a 66 fastback, Mustang of course. We're doing a nice bit of restoration on the car for the customer. The customer is also based in the UK, so this car will be done to sort out all the safety issues on the car and make sure that it meets the standards that is required for that end, as well as a few nice little modifications and creature comforts that we'll be adding to it. What else we have up on the lift, We've got a nice 48 Ford Coupe. Again, just on that vehicle, it's more about getting it running and driving well. It's not always just about the cosmetics and the complete restorations here at the shop. We focus a lot on obviously maintaining cars and keeping them running and driving well so people can enjoy them on a regular basis. And that's our biggest thing. We want to see these cars actually being used, not just standing in a shop for 2 years being restored. We've got a 65 C10. It's been lowered, running a fully rebuilt 327. Also a nice truck. We've actually just done an electric power steering conversion on it as well, and a full rewire. So nice and reliable, and just a fun truck to drive. It can be a period restoration. Like under there, we've got a little Morris, 36 Morris 8 that we're doing. And the 36 Morris 8 is getting a complete wooden frame restoration from scratch. The car literally arrived to us 2 chassis legs with half a block in it, and the customer said, there we go, I want this thing to look as original as possible. And there's very little schematics and diagrams available for that vehicle. So we've had to build what we could of that car based on pictures that we could find from some people that have had those cars that have been very reluctant to share or remove a panel or two for us to have a look and see what's going on behind there. But that would be more of a period correct restoration and done as close to factory as possible. Whereas other cars, a lot of cars that people tend to use on a regular basis, those ones will focus more on the RestoMod sort of route. Because guys that want to use cars regularly, they want them to be reliable and drivable. So creature comforts are a big must. That's where we would improve things like power steering, add the AC, maybe upgrade the suspension, like we spoke about before. Key things, brakes, suspension, make them better drivers and a lot safer.